Hi everyone, on journal page today, and I'm working in this quite large sketchbook. This is an A3 size, and I've got this lovely postcard I bought when I was in Budapest, and I kept it and waited for I don't know, for an idea what to do with it, and I want to make it my focal image for this page. So that's the main thing here. And what I've done is picked papers, scrapbook papers that will go with it in terms of style and color. So first of all, I picked these two. I think they are going very well with the colors and with the details of this cathedral here, even though you have all this triangles and geometric shapes. That's the word I was looking for. And this, of course, very vintage and goes with this. I have a clock here and here, so it kind of does the same thing. Now I have this color, very something like turquoise with brown, this color here, and I didn't have a paper that will have any kind of this kind of color. So what I've done, I've found a piece of this, and it looks almost the same, and I've got on the other side this one. I'm not sure I will use it here, but I've taken it out and it's a possibility. And of course I made something of my own. I've done, this was just white printer paper. This is, and I will explain how I've made them. This is from a book, and this is from a book, and just so I will have enough paper to play in the background. So this one, the white printer paper, is just sprayed and stamped on. That's the only thing I've done. In the background I've sprayed some brown spray, and then I stamped with this kind of turquoise on top. Not sure I will use it. Again, it's an option that will be. Now, when you have old books, I'm always keeping the first and the last page, because I can use them to make my own well, ephemera, if that's the only thing I can think of calling it. I will take this kind of page, and then there are two ways to go about it. I will just split it in two so I can show you what I'm doing. So this one is the very simplest one. Just take one of these kind of pens that have the ink. You can see the ink here in the cartridge, liquid ink, and you just start scribbling, and it really doesn't matter, and it doesn't need to be eligible for reading. It's just scribbling, and it doesn't even have to be like this. You can do whatever you want with it, and then you spray it. If you spray it with water, then it will expand only like this, and then I can, if I want it more vintagey, then I will take the brown spray, and my sprays are made from gel food coloring and water. So I can do this and just let it be, and let the ink spread, because this is not permanent ink. So I'm using it to my advantage when I'm doing something like that. And I can also let it move and just leave it be until it's completely dry. That's how I made this piece. The other way to go about it is, of course, stamping away and taking like distress ink, this is ground espresso, taking a stamp, stamping and making your own ephemera. And it doesn't really matter what kind of stamps you have, use whatever you have and play with it and make your own. This is going into the whole of a collage page and it really doesn't matter, like so, just playing. And it doesn't have to be a ground espresso, and you can use whatever colors you like and play with it. And even this one I can add more. Instead of spraying, I will just tap it and make some stains. Another thing that you can do is put some, I'm putting it here, water, and take anything like this and make watermarks that will play with the ink. And now it looks old, vintagey, and with all kinds of stains. Really like it. And again, let it dry, unless you want to move it and then just spray more water and let it move. So let's I'm taking most of all these things aside because I want to start with my postcard because it's really nice. I don't really like that it's glossy, but I leave it be. At least for now. I can, of course, you can go on top of it with, you can sand it, you can put a clear gesso. I don't have clear gesso. And there is also you can take rice paper and glue on top, or the backing of a paper napkin. So I'm thinking about putting the backing of paper napkin or rice paper. We'll see. First of all, I want to distress the edges. It's just two, and it's going to be very loud. So I'm just showing you. I'm taking something like this, or take sanding paper, whatever you have, or you can take scissors, but be very careful with your fingers and just start going over the edges. So I'm going to do this. It's horrible sound, so I'm going to do it off camera and come back. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So I've distressed the edges of my postcard, and I was about to go around it with some ink pad and a makeup sponge, and then decided, why bother? I can do it easily, more easy with just permanent marker. Go around the edges like so and go over all the white that I have now, just like this. Really easy. So now I will put this aside because I want to start building my background. And basically I'm going to just tear pieces of these papers that I've put aside like so, and I'm going to use a glue stick, and I want torn edges unless it's on the edges of my paper, and then I just align whatever I have like this. And basically now it's playing with whatever papers you have. and I'm also going to overlap, and with this kind of a background, if you've seen other videos that I've made like this, then you know that this is quite random. The only thing that I do try to do is have the same paper at least in 3 different areas of my page. That's the only thing that I do try to do, and not have the same paper going over and over again in the same spot. Usually I will do the edges first and then start on the inside. Just easier for me, but you do whatever works for you. Here we go. Try not to overthink it. Just putting down paper wherever. You can always cover it if you don't like it, and add more elements, and always you can push the background back with all kinds of technique. You can dilute gesso, you can stencil, you can stamp, all kinds of stuff that you can do. Now I know that my postcard is going to be somewhere here and cover part of what I'm doing, but since I don't quite know where it's going to be yet, I'm just focusing on building the background. So I'm going just to continue tearing pieces and gluing them down, and I'll come back when it's finished and we'll continue. I'm back. So I've got a nice start to my background. I really like what's going on here, but I want to push it back. I want to unify everything. I want to get rid of the white edges where I have them. I've taken, this is a Art Deco, it says craft paper, this color, and I want to go on top of my page with this, very lightly, and just I will start only where the pieces are intersecting, but maybe I will go on top of everything. We'll see. Right now I'm just want to blur the edges of my pieces, and as I said, to make everything come together into one cohesive background. So right now I have quite a mess, which I like because it's a good start. Well, I really like this color, so I'm going on top of several of the pieces where I think it's needed. I think it adds something to the whole. So as you can see, I'm just going over, but not completely. First on the edges where my pieces are, and then I go in several places. So just tapping a little bit where I think it needs more color, but basically this is it. And now I want to do some stamping. I'll just let it dry before I'm going in with some stamps and ink, and I'll be back. I'm back. So this is dry. I want to stamp all around it. Again, this is going to make everything come together, and because I already have some cloak and gear, that's what I've picked, and something that would look a little bit vintagey. And I'm going to use this Ground Espresso Distress Ink by Tim Holtz. So I'm going to start with this clock. Like this. Yeah. Not a great stamp, but there you have it. Whatever I have, I will use. So let's see. This is a new one, so first time I'm using it. And oh, I like it. I think because it's so big and solid, I will use it at the edges of my page, like so. And not in the middle. I need to see how I'm going to do it here, but never mind. We'll figure something out. It's kind of framing my page, so I really like it. I'm moving this aside. Let's see if I can get in on this edge. Good enough. One more at least here. Yeah, and let's go here in the corner. Oh, I like it. Okay, some stamping of this. This is quite random. And let's see. Maybe. I've picked some stamps. I never know what I will want to use. really like it. Okay, so this was the stamping, and I want a little bit more to my page. I am really, let's see, this is the postcard, and I want something in the back, and I already taken one of the pages I showed you before, and I'm thinking, not sure yet, if I'll use it as backing or not, because it's just too much. I don't know. I've toned everything down, and now this is like bright sunshine, so maybe I'll leave it like this, we'll see. But I still miss this color to my page, so I'm going to try to attempt on putting it without distracting from the whole. And I'm going to use this stencil, which is clear, so it's a problem to see the pattern. I think now maybe you can see it. And I want it in the background and not prominent. Let's see, I'm going to pick this brush with this broken china. That's the only light blue I have. And let's see if I can do it very gently. Just a hint. I think it's working. It needs to be a little bit transparent, like a ghost print. Whoa, I love it. Okay, another one here. Again, the same technique. I'm just going to move it because I don't have enough space. Okay, so here we go. I love building up layers that have transparency. Just another one here. Oh yeah, now I'm satisfied. Now it's working for me. I just think I need something in the back of this postcard, so I'm going to look for something that will work. I'm thinking maybe lace or something, so I'll be back. I'm back. So none of my lace trims fitted with this postcard, so I finally went over my stashes and found this kind of scrapbook paper. So I just cut some frame for this and done the same treatment. I just went over the edges, distressed the edges, and went in with the permanent marker. So I've got this, and I wanted to go here, and I thought about gluing it, and then I got another idea. I'm going to put a hole through this, and I'm going to try and be very careful. Maybe I'll do first a hole through these two layers, and then I'll go and do through my page. Let's see where I wanted. Yeah, okay, so going through my page, I'm trying to make the hole a little bit longer, and I'm going to put the bread through it. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Flipping it over like so, and I want two more here and here, so I'm going to do the same thing I've done. First these two layers, just so to be careful. Okay, so now puncturing my page. A little bit difficult to do it and be on camera. Okay, next one. Oops. And where is the hole? Here it is. And just one more. Yeah, so now I've got this. It says memories, and I just want to glue it here. I just printed it and distressed it with the distress ink pads. That's it. I didn't do anything else to it. I hope it's straight. Yeah, I think so. Maybe, oopsie. Yeah, now it's in place, and I want to darken the edges of my whole page, so I'm going to take again the ground espresso distress ink, and I'm going to take this kind of brush, whatever sponge that supposedly for eyeshadow. I think I'm using it for this when I want to be in control of where it's going. So now I'm just going over the edges. I think I'll just continue doing this, and I'll come back when I'm finished, and I'll be back. I'm back. So finished inking around the page, and I'm in love with this page with all the details, and I'm going to bring it closer, and let's hope I move slow enough so I won't give you some headache with this. And I hope you can see all the details that are making this whole page. So this is it. I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.